All right, welcome back. Today we're going to look at lesson 3. So we're going to be jumping in on page 13 here with keeping track of your steps. So again, we're moving into algebra and equations and solving those. But we first want to look at how to keep track of steps as you move through this. So here on page 13. Okay, so you've seen number tricks in which everyone ends up with the same number no matter what they started with. You've also seen tricks in which you can use people's ending number to find their starting number, like this one. Okay, so this is back in last semester stuff. So we're just going to kind of refresh our mind on these things, and some of them may get a little more harder than what they were last semester. Okay, so think of a number that is represented by a bucket, and in this case, they use the abbreviation B. Okay, and it looks like a couple of them already have their numbers. So we're going to add 5. So we've added 5 dots to that. So that is B plus 5. If I add 5 to 4, I get 9. And -2 plus 5 is 3. Okay, and I got nothing else. Multiply by 6. So bucket times 6 is 6 buckets, and 5 times 6 is 30. So instead of writing 30 dots and 6 buckets, they just put the number out front, which is nice because when I go here, it's 6b plus 30. So we're going to take 9 times 6, which is 54, and 3 times 6, which is 18. Okay, now over here, they give us a number that is 0. So in order to go the other direction, we're going to divide, and 0 divided by 6 is still 0. Then if I go one more, remember we added 5 from here to here. So we're going to subtract 5. So that would give us -5. Then we're going to divide everything by 2. So if I have 6 buckets and divide it by 2, now I have 3 buckets. And if I take 30 divided by 2, I have 15 marbles. So that's 3b plus 15. Okay, 54 divided by 2 is 27. 18 divided by 2 is 9. 0 divided by 2 is 0. And I can't quite do this one. Okay, what happened here? We had 3 buckets, still have 3 buckets. I went from 15 to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it looks like we subtracted 8. You went from 15 marbles to 7 marbles. So we just subtracted 8. So that's 3b plus 7. So subtracted 8 here. If I take 9 minus 8, I get 1. And then 0 minus 8 is 8. So now if I go this way for Raja, I'm going to, instead of subtract 8, I'm going to add 8. So 16 plus 8 is 24. Then instead of dividing by 2, I'm going to multiply by 2. So I get 48. And then multiply by 6, I'm going to divide by 6. And 48 divided by 6 is 8. Instead of adding 5, I'm going to subtract 5, and I'm left with 3. Okay, so kind of a puzzle on this side to kind of figure out what all the numbers are. So they each wrote algebraic expressions for every step in this new trick. Fill out 3 empty cells. Okay, so think of a number. So they got B and B, so we're trying to figure out what goes in here. So here they added 4. So that would be a bucket and 4 marbles. So B plus 4, B plus 4. Here they have 3B plus 12, or 3 with parentheses B plus 4. So what they did here is they just multiplied by 3. Okay, and In this one, they multiplied each one individually by 3. Here, they left their parentheses there and multiplied the whole thing by 3, which can be done also. Okay, this picture represents what is here, but this is also correct algebra. And then they subtracted 10. So we still have 3 buckets here. Okay, and see, they just took this number minus 10, and here they actually did the subtraction. So instead of 12 marbles, now we have 2 marbles. Okay, Michael says, I think, I think Lena's 3b plus 2 is much simpler than your 3b 3 parentheses b plus 10 b plus 4 parentheses minus 10. Jay, why did you write it in that way? Actually, I like Lena's last expression too, because it describes the final picture in the trick. But I was going for something else. I was trying to make my last expression tell the whole story. Okay, so this here tells the whole story of what you're doing. This does not tell each individual step. Okay, what do you mean the whole story? We can see each instruction in 3 parentheses b plus 4 parentheses minus 10. Start with b, add 4, multiply by 3, then subtract 10. Oh, I see. Lena's expression is best for describing the end result, and yours is best for describing the steps to get there. If you just write 3b plus 2, someone might think that the instructions were, okay, finish Michael's thought. If all you saw was 3b plus 2, what might you think the number trick would be? Well, I would think is you take b times 3, then add 2. And we can see that those weren't steps at all there. Okay. All right, turning over to page 14, we're going to be on number 3 here. Okay, so we're just filling in the missing spots. So think of a number n. What did we do? We multiplied by 2, and then we subtracted 3. Okay. Multiplied by 5, so we kept it in parentheses here, and then we added 16. Okay, 4, use the area model to rewrite this expression to look like Lena's simplified expression. So we're taking this to the area model. So 5, 2n minus 3. So 5 times 2n is 10n. 5 times negative 3 is minus 15. So when you multiply that out, you get 10n minus 15. And again, you can't necessarily see that things were multiplied by 5. Simplify the final expression to look like the one Lena might have wrote. Well, we already have this is right there. So now we just need to add 16. So if I take negative 15 plus 16, I get 10n plus 1. Kayla thought, here on number 6, Kayla thought of a number, went through the steps of the trick above, and got 71 as her final result. What number did she think of? Okay, so we need to go through this backwards, and there's multiple ways we can do this. We can say that this right here is our ending number. 10n plus 1 is our ending number, and that equals 71. Okay, you can think of a mobile or something like that. You have 10 shapes, whatever you want n to be. You got 10 shapes plus a dot on one side, and you got 71 dots on the other. So here we can simply subtract 1, and you get 10n equals 70, divide by 10, and you get n equals 7. Okay, that's one way. Or you can work these steps backwards. Okay, so you can start with 71. Okay, and instead of adding 16, you're going to subtract 16, which 71 minus 16 is 55. Then instead of multiplying by 5, you're going to divide by 5, and that equals 11. Then you're going to subtract, well, instead of subtracting 3, you're going to add 3, which equals 14. Instead of multiplying by 2, you're going to divide by 2, and you get 7. So there is also the original, which goes along with how to solve this. We subtract 16, we divide by 5, we add 3, and then divide by 2. All of those steps are right in here as well. Complete these tables using Jay's method for recording all of the steps in each trick. Some entries are partially filled in, but you still need to finish all of them correctly. Okay, so we got 2 here, 7 and 8. So think of a number, add 4. So we've got x plus 4. And then they're going to multiply by 3. So 3 and then x plus 4 goes in there. Divide by 2, so x plus 4 is still in there. Whole thing divided by 2. Subtract 9 from the result. So we're just going to keep this on top, 3x plus 4. And this tells the entire story of what's going on. Over here we have think of a number b. Double that, so 2b. Subtract the result from 9. Okay, so 9 minus 2b. Multiply by 3. So we got 3 times that result. Add 8. So we got 3, parentheses 9 minus 2b plus 8. Divide the result by 4. So we're dividing the whole thing by 4. And 9 minus 2b goes in there. Now that's a giant expression there, which can be fun to deal with, but it's very simple steps going through there. When might it be most helpful to use Jay's method to record a calculation versus Lena's? Okay, now remember, the main reason for this is to see each step. So Jay's method shows each step. But Lena's, which was like up here, if we go back up here, it was very short. Okay, so Lena's is short and convenient. Okay. So it provides a quicker method, but Jay's method tells the entire story of it. Okay, and on page 15, we're only going to do questions 10 and 11 in this lesson, or yeah, questions 10 and 11, and then we'll continue the rest in the next lesson. So think of a number k. They took k minus 3, so subtract 3, and then divided by 4, k minus 3 over 4. Then they added 7 to that whole thing. Sometimes they may put this whole thing in parentheses there. Okay, and then they took that whole answer and multiplied by 8. All right, and here just make up your own trick and write the steps with algebra as Jay did so you can see the instructions. Okay, so I'm just gonna make one up. You can stop the video and make your own up. It doesn't matter. We're gonna try here to use all the boxes. So I'm gonna say, think of a number b. Okay, and we're gonna divide by 2. So I have b divided by 2. Then we're going to take that thing and multiply by 4. So we got 4 times b over 2, add 8. So 4b divided by 2 plus 8. And then we're going to divide by 16. So this whole thing has to go on top. So 4b over 2 plus 8 all over 16. So you can make up some real crazy expressions here when you do these. Just make sure we're keeping all the steps in there as a whole. Makes it very easy to see the entire story of what has been done. All right, if you got questions, feel free to reach out. And thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next lesson.